How's it going, everybody? And we are back with another Beatbox reaction video, and today we have the next quarterfinal for the BBU 22, and that's going to be Heartzel versus HISS. So we've all seen their wildcards to get into this competition. We've all seen their first round battles respectively against their opponents, and I think the first thing that stands out for this online competition in particular, to be exact, is that their styles are completely different. We know that HISS can delve more into that battle-oriented kind of style. We've seen that from him in person, like at the Grand Beatbox battles, for example. But when it comes to the online scene, we've been seeing a completely different side of him. We've been seeing the more musicality-oriented route, which is also very nice. That's also a very awesome thing. When you have all these different kind of styles, it's pretty amazing to listen to, especially the stuff that he's been producing for this competition in particular. Like, his tracks have been absolutely mind-blowing. But when you're battling someone like Heartzel, who delves really heavily into that battle-esque kind of style, it makes me wonder if he wants to switch up his style a little bit to kind of match that energy that Heartzel will be giving out to him and the audience that listens to him. And also, there is a battle point category in this competition. Obviously, that didn't matter for his first battle. He ended up winning that anyway. But when you're against someone like Heartzel, who will potentially score a lot of points everywhere, maybe you want to switch up your style just a little bit so you can try to grab that battle point category, just give yourself a chance to win even more. So at the end of the day, I'll be very happy if he does continue that trend with the musicality route, because what he's been doing with that has been nothing short of spectacular. So it'd be awesome to hear. So Heartzel, on the other hand, again, he really dwells heavy into that hard-hitting, bassy kind of battle-esque style, and I really want to see more from him in that category because that's where he really thrives. So this battle has the ingredients to be something amazing, a contrast of styles at the end of the day, if both competitors choose to continue the trend that they've been going on. So really excited for this battle just because of that reason. They always make up the most fun battles, I think, when we have two completely different styles. So anyway, guys, let's get right into the battle. But before we do, again, at the end of the video, I will be doing my own grading based on the criteria that I came up with, and I'll be using the same categories to grade the battle. So if you want to find out who I thought won the battle based on my criteria of grading, then feel free to stick around. If not, we'll get right into the video, and I will see you there.
I'll try to be the best I can be, but sometimes life takes me down and pushes me to the ground. And I'm in distress, can't take a rest, should I push on? My life on the line, this is true or that, have I lost it all? Some familiar. I'm in distress, can't take a rest, should I push on? But I put my life and I survive, so I say bring it on. Cause you haven't seen the best of me. I'm turning views as we speak. I've dropped the dump, rush to the top. I can't give up. This boy gon' shine, just wait and see.
Oh.
Now in distress, can't take a rest. Should have push on, but I put my life and persevere. So I say bring it on, 'cause I take my word and don't fight first down word into the ground to say bring it on, baby. This boy is on fire, was born with them fine throw. Wear me around, disappointing you in this boy, this is my crown.
What a surprise, guys. What a surprise. I did not expect that.
Let's get to the lesson.
Oh. Combine it. Yep.
Flip. For the next lesson, I follow GBP level. Get down. You hear me?
Wow. Okay, guys, so that was Heartzel versus HISS, and I think my expectations coming into this battle, like I said at the beginning of the video, I expected both of these guys to come in with the styles that they've already been using for the competition right now, and I was throw that out the window because I was completely wrong. Starting off with Heartzel, yeah, so he delved into a style that I didn't know Heartzel was capable of doing. To be fair, I haven't seen a lot of Heartzel, but I think I've seen enough of him to kind of get a grasp of his overall vibe and style that he uses pretty much on the online scene and in-person scene. And I think in this video, he showed something that I personally never knew he was capable of doing, and potentially everyone else who's been watching Heartzel for as long as I have, or potentially even longer, knew he was capable of doing. So that's really interesting to see people delve into these different kind of styles, especially for a prestigious competition such as this. And I think it worked out quite well, to be honest with you, especially because it was someone like HISS, and I think he did it because he was battling someone like HISS, because we've seen what HISS was capable of doing and what he has been doing in the online scene especially, and in this competition more specifically. So yeah, that's a really, really good battle move, I think. Even though that kind of style itself isn't battle-esque, he did have a lot of battle moments in it, but what I'm trying to get at is the musicality portion that he incorporated into this round in particular is more like a battle move towards HISS, because that's what we've seen HISS been doing. And I think like the construct of the round itself was really solid, I think, because inside of that track that he just created, there was a lot of little jabs at HISS' style completely, even at the very beginning portion of that, where he said something along the lines of, "Does this sound familiar?" It's because he was using sounds in his routine that HISS uses quite frequently in his in-person battles and in online, and just incorporates into his style overall. I thought that was really clever, especially at one portion towards the middle where he did that fast-paced throat kick that is really difficult to do, but he did it pretty well, and it really caught me off guard because it's very smart, because HISS did that sound pattern in particular in both his wildcard and in his first round battle, and I thought that was really smart by Heartzel as well. And overall, he has a very good singing voice, so I did not expect that from him. Very solid. I don't know if I'm going to, obviously I think it was obvious that this is an original track. He definitely didn't take that from somewhere. I could be wrong, maybe he took portions of it, but I think that's a self-created musical track, self-created lyrics, and it's very impressive for someone who doesn't normally delve into that kind of style. And it's really refreshing to hear when you're listening to artists who don't normally do that kind of thing come out of left field and do something like that. And I think that was very, very creative, and definitely earns points in the originality for that reason in particular. Man, I cannot believe Heartzel just came out and did that. That's not what I expected. He was like one of the last people in this competition who I thought would come out and do a musicality based track. But to be fair, it wasn't only musicality. He actually incorporated his own kind of style into the musicality track, kind of intertwining in between the lyrics and the music itself, which is very difficult to do, trying to keep this lighthearted track but intertwining this darkness inside of it. It's crazy how he was able to do that, and definitely earned some respect and points for doing something like that. My god. Yeah, a lot of crazy deep cuts there into HISS' style overall. I feel like I'm missing something big in particular for that round that he did that is I really should be talking about, but I can't really remember it at this point in time, so forgive me if I am. But very solid, very, very solid track from Heartzel, I think. Definitely not what I expected, which is a very good thing, and a very good battle-esque kind of counter towards HISS' style overall, I think, and while maintaining his own unique kind of style on top of that. So moving on to HISS here. Yes, HISS, again, we know he's capable of doing that battle-esque kind of style, but I did not expect him to go with that kind of style because of what we've seen from him in both his wildcard and his first round battle. But he came into this battle because it was someone like Heartzel, who's been very battle-oriented for this entire competition so far. HISS, I guess he kind of took the note and he decided to really step into that battle-esque kind of style for this round against Heartzel in particular. So and it worked out very well. He had a lot of very good moments inside there. He had a little bit of a counter move towards the middle portion where he took a jab at Heartzel's Radioactive Meltdown track that he did against Hippie. And I thought that was very smart, and he mimicked the beat. Not as quite as good as Heartzel, but he did it good enough where it actually sounded good, and it actually worked kind of as a front and a counter against Heartzel as a whole. And yeah, most of that track was more battle-esque technical kind of style that we know HISS is capable of doing, but we haven't been seeing from him recently, and I really like that. I really like that he took that step to make it more of a battle rather than just coming in again with his own musical track, which I wouldn't have minded again if he did go that route, but he kind of took it to a different way. But then at the second end of the portion of this track, he kind of went back to that style a little bit that I just said, that his musical kind of style shined again towards the later half of this round, which is really good because it wasn't like it came out of left field. It kind of flowed into the track and it made it sound pretty good. Like, it didn't make it sound like it was two tracks split up into two separate ones. It kind of sounded like one full-fledged track that had his own hard moment, then had his own light. It kind of ended in his own little light kind of feeling, if that makes sense. A lot to digest, guys, so I'm kind of like jumbling my words, but I think it was a very, very solid round from HISS as well. So it's kind of crazy how I said at the beginning of the video that HISS and Heartzel have their own unique styles, especially when HISS has his own unique style in the online scene as of recently when he's creating these musically oriented tracks, and Heartzel has his own crazy battle-esque heavy bass kind of style in both online and in person. It's crazy when you look at these two tracks that they created for this battle in particular, because they take both of those styles and they intertwine them together on both sides. Like when you look at Heartzel, he has that musicality portion that is very heavy throughout the entire round, but he also intertwines that entire musical track with his own heavy bassy kind of style inside of that. And you can say the same about HISS, even though HISS is a little bit more like first portion is battle-esque, hard-hitting, while then it kind of dwells more into the musicality route as the track progresses. But I think these guys just did an absolute masterpiece on both sides, just because of that reason that they're able to incorporate both of those styles pretty effortlessly inside of one track. And on top of that, you add those layers of battle-esque moves, like incorporating the opponent's sounds that they use more commonly, and taking portions of their previous battle and implementing that kind of thing into the round itself. So a lot of crazy things from both of these competitors, I think, in this round. I enjoyed it a lot, and I think when you look at it more deeply compared to other ones, I think that what these two people did in this round is a little bit more impressive, honestly. I would say I would even go that far. It's a little bit more impressive in that kind of aspect, how they're able to incorporate those two different styles more predominantly and intertwine them so good and have those battle-esque moves inside of that as well. So absolutely crazy, guys. I really enjoyed these two rounds. Not really much else to say about that. There's probably a lot of things that I missed, but obviously it's hard to pick up on everything after a couple listens to. So anyway, guys, that's it for the reaction in the analysis portion. If you guys want to stick around and see who I believe won this battle based on the criteria I use for grading, then feel free. If not, then I will see you guys in the next quarterfinal for the BBU.